We're talking about the Fightins. The Fightins!
Now, Broad Street Sports, the best Philly sports podcast.
Nick Castellanos comes up big again for this Phillies team. I mean, just the beginning of the game, this guy was getting booed after swinging that pitch. It's outside the lefty's batter's box. Then he comes up big with a huge home run after Harper to put this team right back in the ball game. Then he has the walk-off hit at the end of the game. And Castellanos, this entire second half of the regular season, he was our single best hitter, getting on base, hitting homers. He was the best hitter we had. Then you seen him today and in recent postseason. It feels like this guy is always coming up to the plate with the game on the line, and he does not ever really let it down. This guy got booed a couple innings before, and he absolutely turned it around. This guy brings electricity into this baseball team, and Nick Castellanos, this guy, you cannot talk smack on Castellanos anymore. I remember when people were saying, oh, we got to get rid of Castellanos. Castellanos sucks. Castellanos this. Castellanos that. He's streaky. He's this. He's that. Well, I understand that, but here's the thing: when he is one of your most consistent hitters in the second half of the season, and he's always coming up big, it feels like late in the game, with the game on the line, with the season on the line. That's your guy, man. He's the guy. Oh my God. Oh my God. This might be an episode of me saying, oh my God, about 3,000 times. Because this is one of those games where you have no idea what was happening. Really. I sat down, I watched the game. Watching the game, it left and right, back and forth. You had no idea which team was going to win. I thought the Mets were going to win. I mean, but we're going to get into that reasoning, right? We're going to get into that reasoning. But, I mean, you had no idea what was happening. The only thing you could say is, oh, my God, especially at the fact that the Phillies were somehow, some way able to pull that off. Oh, my God. Oh, my God, man. Oh. How did I'm genuinely curious, and I have no idea how they pulled that off. It felt like they were getting no hit once again. It felt like they got no hit in game one. It feels like they almost got no hit tonight, but they somehow, some way won 7-6. Wow. Wow, wow, and wow. From all different angles. Because when I look at this and I think about it, it wasn't just Castellanos that stepped up. It was Harper. It was Bryson Stott. I mean, it was Turner getting on base, even though he sucked. So JT with that big hit that turned into an error for Vientos at third base. So all in all around, I mean, guys just put the ball in play tonight. At the end of the game, they put the ball into play. But this is not a sustainable way of winning ball games, folks. It's just not a sustainable way of winning ball games. Now, I don't want to take away from the positives of tonight. The positives of tonight was coming into the series. You guys watched my podcast previewing this series, and I said the Mets were going to win. I said the Mets just are playing red-hot baseball, and I'm nervous about this Philly. I'm nervous about the series. That's what I said. And I have no reason to deny it. So and then the way it went down last night, it's tough. It's tough. It was tough. It felt like we were going to lose, and tonight felt like a Game 7. Tonight all around felt like Game 7, or even more important than the Game 7. Tonight, our season. This saved our entire postseason run. This loss and this series determines a lot of things that happen in the Philadelphia Phillies franchise's future. I'm not kidding. I mean, they lost tonight, and they ended up losing. If they ended up losing the series as well, you could be looking at a somewhat different ball club next year. I mean, there could be a lot of things, right? So coming into this game, after the way it went down last night, I didn't have a lot of confidence. I really didn't. I thought that they were going to win. Like, I kind of knew they were going to win just because, like, that's how it happens. But it was throughout the game, it felt like we just weren't going to get it. It felt like whenever the Mets would punch us and we would counterpunch, the Mets would automatically have overhand ready to just crack us. That's genuinely what it felt like. It just felt like the Mets literally had an answer for anything and everything that the Phillies were going to do tonight. It was so annoying. But I don't want to take away from the positives. The positive was the Phillies and Nick Castellanos were able to battle. They were able to fight their way to a victory tonight. They were able to come from behind and take care of business. It wasn't the best looking. It wasn't the easiest, but they got the job done. And realistically, that's what it's all about come postseason time. Being able to, obviously, I'd like to be up 2-0 after playing at home, but you take what you can get. You're 1-1 heading into the Queens. I think we're going to do pretty well. It's going to go to 5 games. It'll go to 5 games. I want the negatives of this game. Now, there was some negatives, and almost all of them actually revolve around Rob Thompson. Besides for one, right? And this was another bad managing game from Rob Thompson. I thought it was disastrous when he took Christopher Sanchez out in the 5th and didn't put him back out for the 6th. That was disastrous. Then he put Ruiz in, and Ruiz sucked. Okay? Then at the end of the game, you had Estevez pitch very, very well in the 8th. Very, very well. So then in the 9th, Rob Thompson puts Matt Strom in, and Matt Strom was a lefty pitcher, and they had 3 right-handed batters. So the fact that we're throwing a lefty pitcher against righty batters doesn't make a lot of sense. And that goes with Rob Thompson. His bullpen managing is just not there. And I'm a big Rob Thompson supporter and a big defender of Rob. But, I mean, what he did with Alec Boehm and Amundo Sosa was a total disgrace, too. He had no scientific reasoning of why he did it, besides the fact that apparently Alec Boehm had no energy. I mean, that doesn't make any sense. Rob Thompson is making it extremely difficult to defend him, especially with the bullpen. But then on top of that, the offense again. Look, it felt like the offense was going to get no hit tonight. I'm not even kidding. It felt like they were clueless again. They don't know how to hit Luis Severino. The thing is, I thought the Phillies were going to get no hit tonight. I really did. And the way that this is not a sustainable way of winning. When you're getting shut down the first 7 innings of a ball game, then the last couple innings of the game, you start hitting. Like, that's not a sustainable way of winning ball games. That bullpen, especially when your bullpen can't keep you in a game, it can't keep the score. I mean, that's a disgrace. The offense cannot play like that. I talked about this in my podcast before. I said if the Phillies wanted to win this series and the World Series and continue this postseason run, they would have to hit the ball. The offense is way too streaky, and going away and not hitting the ball for the first 6, 7 innings of a ball game, especially with Christopher Sanchez or Zach Wheeler or Nola on the mound, and then the last couple innings of the game, you want to start hitting the ball. I don't think so. That's not a sustainable way of winning the ball game. But I'm very proud. I'm proud of this team. It wasn't the way I wanted it to happen. It's not the way I wanted this series to start. But it's really not that bad being 1-1 headed into New York. But, we're going to see. Hopefully they can pull this out. Hopefully they can continue to play good. They can play some good baseball up in New York and continue this postseason run. But thank you all for tuning in. I love and appreciate every single one of you.